In the first part, we explored a powerful idea that nothing and no one enters our lives by accident. Through the story of the sun line and the wisdom of the monks, we learned that true luck does not come from marks on our hands or external signs, but from the inner light we choose to cultivate. Now, in part 2, we go deeper. By protecting our home from negative energies, we also strengthen our own resilience and our ability to face challenges with balance and serenity, fundamental values in Stoic philosophy. In a quiet Buddhist monastery hidden in the Japanese mountains, the wise elder monk shared stories filled with deep wisdom with his devoted disciples. "Dear disciples," the monk began gently, "there is an ancient practice that may seem simple, yet it carries profound roots in Buddhist wisdom and significant symbolic meaning. Placing coarse salt in the corners of your home may appear trivial, but observe what unfolds when you do it. It is like planting a seed of change and watching it bloom." A young monk raised his eyebrows skeptically. He admitted he once doubted this custom, but now he felt curious about its deeper meaning. "You must understand," Kai continued, "salt has been valued throughout the centuries as more than a seasoning. It was once traded like gold. Many cultures believed it possessed powerful properties, but why place it in the corners of the house?" A young nun asked. "Because salt is not merely about flavor," replied Hiroshi, another monk. "It carries a deeper story." Hiroshi then began recounting how salt had held sacred meaning across civilizations from ancient Egypt to Gandhi's India, from Normandy to Bavaria, from Judaism to Buddhism. Salt was viewed as a protective symbol, a purifier, a bridge between humanity and the natural world. "It is more than it appears," Hiroshi explained. "It connects us to the universe and to ourselves." The disciples reflected on how such a simple act could carry layered significance. They began to see that even small gestures, when practiced with intention and awareness, could shape meaningful change. "Every practice has a beginning," Hiroshi continued. "The use of salt for purification and transformation is rooted in ancient traditions passed down through generations. In Buddhist belief," he explained, "corners of a home were once thought to collect stagnant energy. Placing salt in those spaces symbolized creating a barrier that repelled negativity and restored harmony." The disciples imagined ancient beliefs interwoven with practical wisdom. They began to understand that placing salt in the corners of a home was an act of protection and alignment. "But the power of salt extends beyond protection," Hiroshi added, his expression calm and assured. "It transforms stagnant energy into renewal. It fosters an environment supportive of growth and emotional clarity." He displayed various types of salt gathered from different regions: coarse sea salt, pink Himalayan crystals, each representing unique natural origins. Salt, he emphasized, carries both physical and symbolic meaning. It has long been regarded as a gift of purification and safeguarding. As the disciples absorbed these teachings, they recognized that the ritual was less about superstition and more about intention, about creating spaces that reflect inner balance and mindful living. You have now reached the halfway point of this journey. I commend you for seeking growth and deeper understanding. If these reflections resonate with you, consider sharing your thoughts. And if you wish to continue exploring how ancient wisdom aligns with Stoic resilience and inner discipline, stay with us for what comes next. But how can we truly harness the power of salt in our lives? One of the monks asked, eager to put the teachings into practice. Hiroshi smiled and replied that the key lies in intention and conscious awareness. He demonstrated a simple yet meaningful ritual using the moon's light as a symbolic catalyst. The disciples watched as the salt absorbed the silver glow, representing tranquility and protection. This salt, Hiroshi explained, can be used to create a symbolic circle of protection or to purify indoor spaces with a graceful motion. He scattered salt along the perimeter of the monastery courtyard, tracing an invisible boundary. He clarified that the power of salt extends beyond external protection. It also symbolizes internal purification, clearing emotional heaviness, and restoring harmony. Inside the monastery, he guided the disciples through mindful gestures involving salt, emphasizing awareness and intention with each action. Hiroshi explained that salt's practical qualities, absorbing moisture and neutralizing unpleasant odors, mirror its symbolic role. Just as salt cleanses physical space, it represents the discipline of cleansing negative thoughts. Stoicism aligns closely with this symbolism as a philosophy centered on virtue, self-discipline, and acceptance of what cannot be changed. Stoicism encourages maintaining serenity amid adversity. The ritual of using salt becomes a metaphor for exercising prudence and moderation. Just as salt absorbs moisture and impurities, Stoic practice teaches us to release negative emotions and remain steady. The act is not magical, it is intentional. It reinforces self-mastery. Have you heard of the number 888 and its spiritual symbolism? In many traditions, it represents abundance, prosperity, and divine alignment. Some believe that writing 888 on paper and placing it beneath a pillow invites positive transformation. Viewed through a Stoic lens, however, such a practice serves as a reminder rather than a charm. Stoicism teaches that while external events cannot always be controlled, our attitudes and actions can. The number 888 may symbolize intentional focus and affirmation of seeking prosperity through virtue and discipline. By placing it beneath a pillow, one symbolically reinforces commitment to inner growth and openness to opportunity. From a Stoic standpoint, this act becomes an exercise in visualization. By focusing the mind before sleep, we cultivate receptivity to constructive thought and positive action. As the sun descended beyond the horizon and a quiet fire crackled in the monastery courtyard, the wise monk Kaido addressed his disciples. He spoke of an ancient symbol 888, describing it as a representation of balance and abundance. Holding a sheet of paper, he carefully inscribed the number in gold ink. "Think of this not as magic," he said softly, "but as a reminder, a bridge between intention and action." The disciples listened with curiosity. The number itself was less important than the mindset it inspired: clarity of purpose, discipline of thought, and openness to growth. In this way, ancient symbols and Stoic philosophy intersect not through superstition, but through intentional cultivation of mindset and virtue. 888 is more than just a number, continued Kaido, his voice filled with wisdom. It is a key that opens the door to the unlimited potential of the universe and, consequently, to the unlimited potential that resides within each of us. It is like a magical portal that leads us to a world of wonders. One of the younger disciples, eager to learn more, asked Master Kaido, "How can this number open the doors of prosperity and peace for us?" The monk, smiling broadly, invited them to write the number 888 on a sheet of white paper using golden or red ink symbols of prosperity and good fortune. Then he instructed the paper should be placed under their pillow before going to sleep. "As you sleep," Kaido whispered firmly, "your mind will open like a flower to the sun. And the energy of 888 will flow through you, purifying your spirit and preparing you to receive new gifts from the universe. It will be like a rain of blessings falling upon thirsty land." The disciples nodded. With hearts full of hope and the paper bearing the number 888 in their hands, they went to their rooms. The ritual had touched them deeply, and they were eager to carry it out with confidence and faith. In the quiet of the night, Lulled by the sound of nocturnal birds and rustling leaves, the paper rested beneath their pillows like a precious talisman radiating subtle energy. That night, something unusual occurred. Each disciple experienced vivid and colorful dreams filled with symbols and mysterious messages, dreams to interpret and follow like maps guiding them toward happiness. When they awoke, they felt transformed. A renewed energy and profound inner peace filled them, as though a fresh breeze had cleared the clouds from their minds. In the days that followed, surprising events unfolded. New opportunities appeared like flowers blooming at dawn. Unexpected encounters illuminated their path like lighthouses in the night. Fortuitous coincidences guided them toward the realization of their deepest dreams, like shooting stars granting wishes. Astonished and grateful, the disciples gathered around Kaido once more. Seeking deeper understanding of the number 888, the wise monk invited them to sit around a crackling fire glowing warmly beneath the night sky. 888 is an angelic number, Kaido explained. It is a message from our spiritual guardians, a precious gift that fills our lives with hope, love, and protection. In Buddhism, he continued, the number 8 represents the Noble Eightfold Path, the path leading to enlightenment. The repetition of 888 symbolizes spiritual perfection and awakening. It is a sacred sign that deserves respect. A disciple asked Master Kaido, is this number also significant in other religions? The monk replied that in the Christian tradition, 888 is associated with Jesus Christ. As the name Jesus in Greek corresponds numerically to 888, thus it is seen as a symbol of redemption, salvation, and eternal life. Kaido spoke of angels and spiritual guides who, through this number, offered help to those in need. He described prophetic dreams, intuitive insights, and meaningful coincidences woven together like invisible threads shaping destiny. 888 is a symbol of balance and harmony, Kaido said. It is a bridge connecting heaven and earth. It invites us to live meaningfully, aligning spiritual aspirations with material life, fostering both prosperity and inner growth. The disciples listened with gratitude as Kaido guided them in meditation. When you reflect on 888, he said, gently visualize golden light flowing through your body, purifying your spirit. Pay attention to the signs that manifest in your life. Recognize them as guidance from the universe. From that day forward, the disciples continued practicing the ritual and meditating on the number 888. Their lives unfolded as journeys of discovery and joy, each day revealing a new chapter in a wondrous story. Numbers danced before their eyes like notes of celestial music, inviting them to follow the rhythm of the universe and their lives. Despite the challenges and trials they faced, they continued with trust, faith, and perseverance. Life's challenges are like stones on a path. They test us, teach us, and strengthen us. As Kaido taught, every obstacle is an opportunity for growth, another step along our journey. Stoicism, a philosophy that views adversity as a chance to cultivate virtue and resilience, encourages us to face hardship without fear of failure. Do not fear falling, Kaido would say, for it is through falling that we learn to rise. This echoes the Stoic principle that every setback is instruction. Each stumble becomes a lesson in perseverance. Through adversity, determination deepens and character strengthens. Kaido reminded his disciples that the number 888 symbolized hope and inner protection. They only needed to open their hearts to connect with that strength. In their daily meditations, 888 became a symbol of courage and balance, a reminder to unite inner serenity with resilience in the face of life's trials. With each passing day, they moved closer to fulfillment. Have you ever found yourself awake between 3 and 5 in the morning, Does this quiet hour leave you curious or restless? Imagine the stillness of night surrounding you while questions fill your mind. Why does this happen? Is it random, or does it carry meaning? From a Stoic perspective, even sleep disruptions can become opportunities. Stoicism teaches acceptance of what we cannot control and mindfulness in every experience. Rather than resisting nocturnal awakenings, we can view them as moments for reflection. In the stillness of early morning, without distraction, self-knowledge becomes accessible. The Stoics believed self-awareness was essential to fulfillment. When you wake in the night, you are offered space to examine your thoughts and emotions calmly. Instead of frustration, breathe deeply, reflect gently. What concerns are surfacing? What emotions remain unresolved? Waking between 3 and 5 a.m., he said, is associated with the lungs and the emotion of sadness. It may indicate the need to release grief or heal emotional burdens. The disciples reflected quietly. Kiro added, "In Buddhism, every moment offers mindfulness. Night awakenings allow us to observe our inner state without daytime distractions. Thus, what may seem like inconvenience becomes an invitation to self-awareness, healing, and balance." Kiro shared stories of ancient Buddhist masters who, through meditation and contemplation, transformed their nocturnal awakenings into opportunities to deepen their understanding of the mind and the human soul. Remember, Kiro added, each awakening in the night is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to connect with the deepest part of yourself. Cherish these moments of awareness, for they are precious gifts on the path toward spiritual fulfillment. He then continued, "Now let us examine which areas of life may be affected by waking between 3 and 5 a.m., so that you may better understand yourselves and others. Stress and anxiety accumulated during the day often manifest during these early hours. Between 3 and 5 a.m., the body naturally releases cortisol, the stress hormone. If your stress levels are already elevated, nocturnal awakenings become more likely. In such cases, meditation, deep breathing, and muscle relaxation techniques can help reduce tension and improve sleep quality. Kiro suggested developing the habit of meditating for at least 10 minutes before bedtime, preparing the mind for rest. According to Chinese medicine, these hours are associated with the lungs and the emotion of sadness. From an Eastern psychological perspective, waking at this time may signal unresolved grief, loneliness, or emotional pain. Facing and accepting these emotions is essential for healing. Practices such as mindful reflection, journaling, or therapy can help process and integrate these experiences. If negative experiences remain unaddressed, Kiro advised working consciously toward emotional balance and peace. Looking into the eyes of his disciples, Kiro continued, "In Eastern spiritual tradition, the early morning hours are sacred. They are considered ideal for meditation, prayer, and deep contemplation. Many awaken during this time because their deeper self seeks connection with the divine. The stillness of these hours opens the door to heightened awareness and insight." Kiro explained that nocturnal awakenings may also indicate inner transformation. During these quiet moments, the subconscious mind becomes active, surfacing hidden emotions and desires. This can be a powerful time to examine what changes are needed to live more authentically. However, not all awakenings are spiritual in origin. Physical conditions such as acid reflux, insomnia, or sleep apnea can disrupt sleep patterns. Eastern medicine offers remedies, but Kiro emphasized consulting medical professionals if physical causes are suspected. Addressing underlying conditions promotes both physical health and emotional well-being. Kiro then introduced another dimension, the period between 3 and 5 a.m. He said, is believed to be a time when the unconscious communicates through dreams and subtle awareness. This idea resonates not only with ancient traditions but also with the analytical psychology of Carl Gustav Jung. Dreams and nocturnal insights may contain symbolic guidance about relationships, fears, or personal growth. Keeping a dream journal or practicing meditation before sleep can help capture these messages. Writing them down immediately upon waking preserves clarity and allows reflection later. Finally, Kiro noted that some awakenings align with the natural rhythms of the universe. Just as tides follow the moon and seasons follow the sun, the human body also moves within larger cycles. Through awareness rather than resistance, nocturnal awakenings can shift from disturbance to opportunity moments of insight, healing, and connection. The early morning hours are considered a time when vital energy is concentrated and flows more freely. Waking up during this time may indicate alignment with these natural cycles or a need to adapt to them in order to promote health and well-being. Practices such as yoga, tai chi, or meditation can help harmonize the body, mind, and spirit with the rhythms of nature. So, my dear ones, go and practice them. A disciple asked, "Master, should we be concerned if we frequently wake at these hours?" "My dear ones," the monk replied gently, "I would view these awakenings as a precious opportunity to explore the depths of our mind, spirit, and even body. If the awakening suggests a physical imbalance, it reminds us to care for ourselves. If it suggests spiritual meaning, it invites us to grow." He continued, "Through Eastern wisdom and sincere compassion, learn to welcome these moments as gifts on your journey. Each nocturnal awakening is an invitation to greater awareness and understanding of yourself and the world around you. Rather than resisting or ignoring these awakenings, approach them with openness and calm. Create a tranquil space before sleep. Allow your mind and body to relax completely. Practices such as meditation, deep breathing, or reading inspirational texts aligned with Stoic principles can cultivate resilience and inner balance. Meditation, highly valued in Stoic thought, strengthens inner tranquility and acceptance. Through consistent practice, you prepare yourself to meet daily challenges with steadiness and grace. Deep breathing, another practical tool, helps calm the nervous system. By focusing on slow, conscious breaths, you reduce tension and ease into restorative sleep. Reading the writings of Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius before bed can nourish the mind with wisdom. Their teachings remind us how to approach adversity with composure and virtue. If you wake between 3 and 5 a.m., do not see it as disruption, see it as opportunity. In these quiet hours, you can reflect, contemplate, and reconnect with your inner world. From a Stoic perspective, every awakening day or night is a chance to practice self-mastery, introspection, and growth. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. And if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.